we're going to look at many types of problems involving electrolysis, and a lot of it comes back to stoichiometry and these conversion factors. So let's look at the stoichiometry of an electrolytic process. And I'm going to go through several examples of this and try to highlight some key points for you guys. So here we want to calculate the mass of copper solid that is plated when a current of 10 amps is passed for 30 minutes through a solution of copper 2+. If we took a strip of copper and put it in a copper 2+ solution, nothing's going to happen. If we want that copper 2+ to plate out onto the solid copper, we would need to apply a current through that. So in this case, we're going to apply the current of 10 amps. When we look at and the reaction that's going to take place is we have copper 2+ in aqueous solution plus 2 electrons becoming copper solid. So one of the things that we have to make sure that we take note of is, in this case, the units that are typically associated with the current are amps. An amp is a coulomb per second. So we can keep that in mind, that when we have an amp and we multiply that by a time interval in seconds, the seconds cancel out and we get coulombs. Faraday's constant relates the number of coulombs with a mole of electrons. So when we're doing a conversion, the first thing we want to do is figure out what our current is. Okay? And the variables that we can play around with are the current and also the time that's passed. So if we wanted to plate more of a metal or increase the amount of metal that will be plated out of a solution, we can increase the amperage or we can increase the time at which we're going to collect that. So we're going to start with 10 amps, which is 10 coulombs per second. In this case, we say that we pass the current for 30 minutes. We need to convert the minutes to seconds, so we need to multiply by 1800 seconds. We can then say that 96,486 coulombs are in 1 mole of electrons. In our particular copper reaction here, for every 2 moles of electrons, we have 1 mole of copper solid. And then we're asked for the mass of the copper, so we know that 1 mole of copper solid is equal to 63.5 grams. So when we multiply this out, we get 5.94 grams of solid copper that's plated when we run a current for 30 minutes. That's 10 amps. So this is the type of stoichiometry that you're going to have to use. We can ask you for pretty much anything along the way here.